Well, hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, I'm going to be discussing the brand new update here in Call of Duty Warzone as well as Black Ops Cold War. So of course guys, I have quite a bit of stuff to talk about in today's video because interestingly enough, today's update was rather important, being that it significantly furthered the Warzone storyline as well as it introduced a ton of new content into Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. For example, a brand new DLC weapon, a new game mode, as well as a bunch of new St. Patrick's Day items. So yeah, let me just say today's video is going to be rather interesting, and if you guys go on to enjoy it, make sure you leave a like comment down below as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications so that way you guys will not miss any of the latest and greatest Call of Duty news, class setups, and all kinds of things like that. So without further ado, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's dive right into it. Alright, so of course today is Thursday, March 11th, which is naturally update day, and interestingly enough, today we got quite a bit of new content. Some of it was expected, for example, the brand new St. Patrick's Day mode that we actually found out about in the weekly briefing for this week in Black Ops Cold War, and in addition to that, we also got some new content that was a little bit more unexpected. For example, the brand new Shuffle DLC weapon, which I will get to a little bit later in this video. And of course, to start off this one, I want to talk a little bit about Warzone and more specifically the Warzone storyline, because interestingly enough, a little bit earlier today, the Outbreak event that of course has been running in this game ever since Season 2 originally released has of course ended, and that actually changed around how the zombies are going to be behaving in Warzone, and actually in many ways it furthers the Warzone storyline towards a possible nuke event or maybe even a new map coming within the next couple of months, because of course yesterday, the time me making this video, was the 1-year anniversary of Warzone, and naturally we've been playing on the same map being Verdansk for a full year now. So that said, it is very likely that we are going to be seeing some sort of significant map change or maybe even a brand new map in general coming in the near future. And of course today's update and changes actually further that idea, being that right now the zombies actually expanded out of the Verdansk ship and are now actually in the prison, which interestingly enough, if you head down to the basement area of the prison, you will actually see that there is an Outbreak style chest there, as well as there is a computer, and if you actually activate it, there are going to be zombies spawning in the prison, which is really interesting. And more so, Call of Duty actually posted this on their blog, which states Warzone Containment Protocol Alert 3/11/21, which states for immediate release contagion warning issues for southeastern Verdansk, which is really interesting. I'm going to be reading it off. So of course the post goes on to state, attention all Verdansk operatives, the emergency broadcast system has issued a minor contagion warning for the southeastern zone of Verdansk, encompassing the miasma epicenter being the ghost ship Verdansk, as well as territories immediately east, including the Zordea prison complex and surrounding areas. In addition, terrain reconnaissance scouts in conjunction with a multilateral armistice air support squadron have determined the existence of anomalies within this region of Kastovia. The following guidance has been approved for all military operators working within the greater Tovorsk area. You are recommended to exercise extreme caution. Reconnoitering within these newly confirmed anomalous zones may result in additional conflict, as speculative reports indicate secondary forces of unknown origin now residing both within the prison complex as well as the fully compromised shipwreck points of interest. Hostile forces are described as withered, exhibiting a cadaverous appearance and lacking in constructive cognizant function. You should encounter these anomalies hostiles, no quarter should be given. Subsequently, a fighting withdrawal, immediate exfil, and subsequent fumigation is recommended. Alert: containment protocol level has not been raised, as these threats appear to be mainly contained to the southern zone of Sector 5, and operators in surrounding regions should proceed as normal. Computer models expect the anomalous activities to cease shortly, and a conflagration is not expected. Stay frosty and execute the mission. Alright, so that report was really interesting in my opinion, and of course it was posted on the Call of Duty blog. And interestingly enough, in addition to the actual post, there's actually an accompanying video that Raven Software posted on Twitter, which I am going to be playing for you guys right now. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that Twitter clip. Overall, I thought it was pretty interesting in my opinion, and it alludes to the idea that in the future, zombies are going to be taking over an entire portion of the map, and it is possible that that is going to be changing the map, or maybe the whole nuke event is going to be coming in where a nuke is going to be hitting that area and is going to be significantly changing that portion of the map. It's very possible, and it is very likely that that is going to be happening sometime relatively shortly, whether it be during the mid-season update of Season 2, which I will get to that a little bit later in this video, or possibly hopefully within Season 3, that of course will be releasing next month in April. Alright, so that's enough about Warzone. Now let's move over and talk a little bit about Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, and more specifically about the new DLC weapon that we did end up receiving, as well as some of the new St. Patrick's Day events that were added into the game. First and foremost, let's talk a little bit about the new DLC weapon, which is actually the E-Tool, which is of course the brand new combat shovel melee DLC weapon. And of course, similar to all the other melee DLC weapons that we saw in this game, whether that be the sledgehammer, the wakizashi, or the machete, the E-Tool is unlocked via two separate ways. The first way is by completing a very simple challenge, which states using a melee weapon, kill 3 enemies without dying in 15 different matches, and then naturally you are going to be unlocking the weapon. The other way is actually via a bundle in the store, which is called Tool of War, and of course will be coming with the legendary Bunker Buster blueprint for this particular melee DLC weapon, and it will be costing you 1400 COD points. That said, if you guys haven't already, make sure you comment down below what are your thoughts on this particular DLC weapon, and are you going to be purchasing the bundle, or are you of course going to be completing the challenge so that way you can unlock this weapon. And interestingly enough, why I find this new DLC weapon really important is that it's kind of alluding to the mid-season update of Season 2, because of course Season 2 has been kind of mirroring what Season 1 has been doing when it comes to the new content. For example, Season 1 released, then about 2 weeks later, we got to see our first ever melee DLC weapons that were introduced in the game, and then about 3 weeks later, we did end up seeing the mid-season update for Season 1, and of course if we move that over to Season 2, we already saw the release of Season 2. Now a couple weeks later, we saw some new melee DLC weapons being the E-Tool, so that means naturally I would assume that within the next 3 to 4 weeks we are going to be seeing the mid-season update for Season 2. So that said, now let's actually talk about some of the new St. Patrick's Day content. Of course, if you go over to the store, there's actually a new St. Patrick's Day bundle, which is going to be adding in some new leprechaun themed as well as St. Patrick's Day themed items into the game that you of course can purchase. And in addition to that, there's actually a brand new game mode, which is called St. Patrick's Stockpile, with the description reading: eliminate your enemies and collect the shamrocks they drop, grab as many as you can, and deposit your stash at the pot o' gold to earn points for your team. The first team to hit the score limit wins, but be careful, you'll drop your entire stockpile if you go down. Keep an eye out for a more classic take on Stockpile arriving next week after St. Patrick's Day has come and gone. We're huge fans of this mode and hope you enjoy it as much as we always have since it was introduced in Black Ops 3 as Fracture. So yeah guys, that's gonna effectively wrap up today's video. Of course, today was a really interesting day in Black Ops Cold War as well as Warzone, introducing a lot of new content as well as giving us a lot of insight when it comes to the future of Warzone as well as Black Ops Cold War. With that said, if you guys went on to enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it down below, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications so that way you guys will not miss any of the latest and greatest Call of Duty news, class subs, and all kinds of things like that. So once again, that's gonna effectively wrap up today's video. I've been your host, Deeper Jungle. I hope to see you in the next one.